I've tested a few webcams in my time, and the one that you're looking at me through right now is honestly what I consider to be the best webcam at around $100. So let's check it out. What's up, my dude? Your friendly neighborhood Tony here, and welcome back to the Spare Tech Room, where I try to help you make better tech choices. And the webcam we're talking about today is the EMEET C960 Ultra. It's brand new, just came out, and EMEET was kind enough to send it over to me early, so I've been able to test it out a little bit for you. Now, I do also want to say that EMEET is sponsoring this video, but everything that I say in it is going to be my own personal opinion. Honestly, they just wanted me to highlight it. So when I tell you that I think it's the best webcam you can get for around $100, I'm serious. So, okay, before we get into all the nitty gritty details, let's kind of go over the basics about this webcam. The C960 Ultra is a 4K 30 frames per second webcam, of course, from EMEET. And you can also drop it down to 1080p at 60 frames per second if you prefer that. I know some people that do like game streaming prefer 60 frames per second and 1080p. But for the sake of this video, we're shooting everything at 4K 30. It's really what I prefer for all of my YouTube videos anyway. It's also super plug and play. You literally just go USB-C from the webcam right into your computer, and you don't have to install any software, although there is some software available, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but I highly recommend you download that if you're going to check out this webcam. You could mount it on top of your monitor or your laptop with the mount that comes in the box, or there's also a 1/4-inch thread underneath the webcam, so if you have a tripod or anything like that, you can screw it right on. The body is made up of what feels like mostly aluminum, which gives it, of course, like a premium feel in your hand, but also does a really good job of dissipating heat. So if you're going to be doing long live streams or anything like that, or shooting really long videos, then it's going to be great for keeping the webcam cool so it doesn't overheat and shut down. One of the other little things that it has on the camera is this really cool privacy shutter. Most webcams, I feel like, don't have a physical privacy shutter, and so you have to rely on the software to make sure that your webcam is off when you're not actively trying to stream. And that can be, you know, a little finicky and sometimes a little concerning when it comes to security. But with this, you have a really cool and easy to switch on privacy shutter, which is actually kind of satisfying to click into place. It's, you know, a small detail, but for me, I think it's something that's really important for just security and safety. So, okay, that's kind of the physical makeup of the webcam, but what we really care about here is going to be image quality. And what you're looking at right now, as I said, is the webcam. These are the default settings, though. I have not gone in and tweaked anything. This is just right out of the box what you get. And in my opinion, I think it looks really good. And a big part of the reason why it looks so good is because of the sensor on the webcam. Now, if you're not familiar with cameras, I'm not going to get into all the technology of a camera, but basically your sensor size determines how much light you can let into the lens. And the bigger the sensor, the more light, the more detail you're going to get, and the better it's going to perform in kind of darker, dimmer settings. Now, the C960 Ultra uses a 1/1.5-inch sensor, which maybe doesn't sound very big, but when you're talking about a webcam, that is way bigger than most. It's really kind of on par with a lot of what you're going to get on very high-end smartphones nowadays, or the kind of point and click cameras, all of which are going to cost way more than this webcam. And so, of course, what that's going to translate to is going to be that better low light performance, more natural colors, and just overall better detail in your image. It also has really good autofocus detection. So as you can see, it's picking up my face here, but if I hold something up to the camera, it should lock onto that focus pretty quickly. So that's going to be really good if you're trying to show off products to the camera, or if you're just kind of walking in and out of frame, you want it to grab focus quickly. I believe they say that the focus time on this is 0.2 seconds, which is really quick. Now, as far as audio is concerned, there are a couple of built-in microphones on the webcam, but of course, it's a webcam. It's not going to be a professional sounding microphone or anything like that, which is why I have my trusty Shure SM7B right here. But let's switch to that real quick so you can see what it sounds like. Okay, and for this little bit, we're going to be recording the audio into the camera so you can kind of hear what that sounds like here. Again, not going to be very good, kind of tinny, kind of hollow or shallow, but in a pinch, if you need it, I think it's going to be decent enough. So yeah, obviously it's not going to be great for any kind of professional production or anything like that, but if you're just using it for quick chats or for jumping on meetings at work or something like that, I think it's going to be totally fine. You can, of course, also pick yourself up a pretty budget microphone. Of course, this here is not a budget microphone, but I have done a number of reviews on ones that cost way less and sound really good. So if you want to see those reviews, I'll link to my microphone review playlist down in the description box. There's a couple there that I absolutely love that don't cost much at all. Now the software, which is EMEET Studio, is something I want to talk about as well, because again, you can just go plug and play with this, but I feel like you're going to get so much more value for your money if you download that software. So let's go ahead and switch over to like a screen recording here so I can show you the software. Okay, so what we have going on here is the screen recording. So this is maybe not going to look as good as when I'm recording directly into the camera, so bear with me on that, but I want to show you the software. So this is EMEET Studio, which I absolutely recommend you download if you're going to be picking up this webcam, because it takes it from a really amazing out-of-the-box plug-and-play webcam to something that is near professional camera quality. And so you'll see here, first up, there's a giant image of myself on the screen, which is just going to be kind of your preview of what you're recording. On the left-hand side, you have a bunch of effects that you can put into place here. Now, I just have this set to the default right now, but you can customize to various presets, like a bright preset, which I think is going to look maybe a little blown out in this particular situation, but there are several different presets you can use. This is nostalgia. There's a vivid preset if you prefer a more vivid, bright kind of color. Let's switch that back to default for now. You can also go in and adjust everything individually. So if you want to increase or decrease your brightness or your contrast, you can turn off the auto exposure and set it yourself if you want to. You can adjust your brightness, or I'm sorry, your sharpness, saturation, all of that. You can adjust your white balance if you don't want it to do the auto white balance and you want to dial it in exactly how you'd like. There's also the ability to flip the video vertically or horizontally. So if you're doing vertical video content, you can do that here very easily. You can also adjust the anti-flicker. So if you have issues with maybe like TV screens or something in the background that are flickering, or lights, then you can adjust that here. There are really a bunch of different options. Of course, you can see I'm recording in 4K 30, but you can switch that to any of these other options here, including 1080p 60, which I think is going to be really popular. You can zoom in on here if you want to really just kind of punch in on my face, which I don't recommend for myself. But you have a bunch of options, including audio mixing, which is fantastic. So you can record into an external microphone or directly into the webcam. Really, this thing is amazing. There's even script generation, which I haven't messed around with, but if you're doing YouTube videos and you want some help writing a script for a video, you can do that here as well. Really, the functionality that you get in this app is just insane, especially considering that the app is free and just comes with the camera. But okay, let's go ahead and jump back and kind of get through the rest of this. Okay, so you've seen a little bit of everything here. Who do I think the EMEET C960 Ultra is for? And honestly, this is a really easy question to answer for me. As I said, this is, in my opinion, the best webcam you can get for around $100 right now. So if you're still using your laptop camera for video calls, or maybe you're wanting to get into kind of video content creation, but you don't want to spend $1,000, $2,000 on some professional camera, I think you should absolutely check this out. The difference between this and your laptop camera is going to be massive. And honestly, the difference between this and $1,000 to $2,000 camera is maybe not that big. So that's the EMEET C960 Ultra. It's got an incredible build quality to it. The picture quality is also amazing, and the software is mind-blowing. If you want to pick one up for yourself, or maybe you just want to read a little bit more about it, I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the description box below. That's going to make sure that you get the best possible price on it, and it is an affiliate link, so it gives me a little bit of a kickback if you pick one up for yourself. So if you use that link, I definitely appreciate it. If you found this video helpful, or you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing, or, at least hit the like button. It doesn't really cost you anything other than, 0.001 calories and pressing a button. So if you do it, I really appreciate it. Also, if you have any questions about the C960 Ultra, let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer everybody's questions. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time in the Spare Tech Room. Be good.